What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to tie a worm harness for walleye fishing. Now this is a really important thing to know because yes, you can buy them pre-made, but it's cheaper to make them on your own, and even if you do buy the pre-made ones, it always breaks and stuff. You always get nicks in your line after teeth and stuff, and it's always good to re-tie them. So we're going to get right into this, but before we do, hit subscribe below for more. Now to do this, this is all the stuff you're going to need. You're going to need a pair of scissors, some beads. Here I happen to have 4 red and 3 black beads. However, whatever colors you want, I usually run between 5 and 10 beads depending on the size of the harness you want. We've also got the blade. This one happens to have the quick attach clevis on there, so it's already ready to go. Then we also have 2 hooks. Here I'm using 2 size 2 hooks. However, sometimes I'll use a size 2 and a size 4 hook, running the small hook in the back as a kind of stinger hook. Then the last thing we'll need is some sort of line. I like to use fluorocarbon. This one happens to be a hybrid copolymer fluorocarbon. Still works pretty good. And this one's 12-pound test. The reason I'm using this 12-pound is because I fish these worm harnesses in a lot of clearer water. However, if you're in stained water and stuff, I'd always run with like a 15-pound just for that extra strength. So we're going to start off by taking that fluorocarbon line and pulling out 3 to 4 feet of it. Now you can always do longer if you want, if you're starting out, because you can always cut it down at the end depending on what you need. Once we got that in, we're going to just tie one of the hooks on. If you are using 2 smaller hooks, I'd start with the smaller one in back, and we're just going to take that and use whatever knot you want. I happen to use like a clinch knot, but really any knot works for this part. So once that's done, we're just going to quick clip the tag off of there. Maybe these scissors suck for cutting fishing line. There we go. Then what we're going to do is take the other end of the line that does not have the hook on it, and what we're going to do is kind of the opposite of what you'd typically do. If you see the hook here, we're going to run it inside the back of the hook rather than through the front like you typically would. And then we're going to pull all this line through there until it's about 2 to 3 inches in front of the other hook, as you can see there. And what we're going to do then is pinch that line and hook and take the front end of that, and we're going to start looping it around. Now this kind of takes a little bit to get used to when you start out. It's kind of hard to get that first loop started, but once you do and you can get it started, you're ready to go. Then we're going to run 8 to 10 loops around the shank of the hook, as you can see there. Then we're going to take the long end of that line and stick it back through the back of that hook like we did earlier. Again, it's kind of the opposite of what you typically do. And then we're going to pull that all through nice and tight, cinch it up, and there we go. We've got our 2 hooks ready to go. That's the hardest part already done. Then what we're going to do, it's kind of the fun part, you get to decide what colors and stuff you want. I'm going to start running 1 red bead. Then I'm going to do a black, and for this one I'm just going to do every other color. However, you can do whatever you want with these beads. That's kind of what's cool about it, is you can do whatever you think looks good and have confidence in. So, 1 more to go. And sometimes what guys will do is run their blade and then their last bead. However, I typically just run all the beads and then the blade. So there you can see we got all of the beads on now, right in front of the hooks. And now we're gonna run the blade. So as I said, this one's on the quick exchange clevis, so it's really easy. All you gotta do is thread that clevis on. You don't have to worry about getting the blade in there correctly. And you always want to make sure that it is kind of the bull side up, such as this, rather than down, or it won't spin correctly. So as you can see, basically we're all ready to go. All we got to do now is tie off the other end. And what you can do for this is either tie a snap swivel or whatever on. Otherwise, I just tie a simple loop here. So we're going to just pinch it and do basically a little overhand knot on there. pull it through, and I use the chain sinkers, so they have a snap on there. They're ready to clip on your line, and there you go. So that is how you tie a worm harness for walleye. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up below, as well as subscribe for more. We'll see you guys on the next episode.